We're here at Romanian Days Old Bird Racing Loft. These are his hens from, you said 19, 20, and 21? Beautiful setup. We're on the second floor. All the breeders are downstairs. I like this a lot. It's really well ventilated. Good looking birds. How do you keep your hens from pairing up and laying eggs all over the place?
In that section there.
In that section over there?
Yeah, I'll transport them over. I'll let those guys out. To the 400-mile winner.
So this is the daddy to that red cock upstairs.
2012.
2012 and still putting out babies.
134. Look at that eye. We go outside in the sun, you can see it better. But he has two different eyes, just like his dad. The 134 had two different eyes. One's more on the white, and then this one's just solid red.
Zooms way in on that eye. Flip him over. Let's see. There we go. I'm colorblind, so they look the same to me, but if you say they're different colors, I see that. That one's different, you can tell.
His dad was the same way. The 134 had the two different eyes.
There's Casanova. Still kicking out babies with his half-sister.
Yeah, he's hidden one egg. Out of the two eggs, one is good.
Huh.
So far, out of the 2 rounds, 2 eggs, only one hatch. So the same with this one.
Dave's individual breeding sections. Really nice setup, man.
That's son of 134, half brother to that red cock you just looked at, with a Bastine, pure Bastine hen. That's another son of the 134 with Rosie. Son of 134 and Rosie.
Is Rosie the one out here?
Yeah, with the
Our big
that's
eye.
daughter of the 44 cock.
She looks young. How old is she?
She's 10, 2012. Most of the breeders are from 2012, the original, direct children of all the old original stuff. And so there's only several grandchildren that I'm breeding out, but only direct children because I'm gonna fly another round of just pures. And whatever gets left at the end of the season, they go back to stock.
And that's Queen, right?
Yes. And that's a Bastine cock.
They got some babies over here.
So that's why I paired that so I can see what she does with the Bastine.
And then in this corner we got the old,
2933, and then this is all the old guys.
the old folks' home.
Yep. That's the 44 cock there, 38.95. Then they get to go outside too in the little area under the
That's
staircase.
really cool. And how old is this guy again?
2004.
2004.
Yeah, he's blind. He don't-
18 years
He
old.
doesn't see anymore. He flies into the gate and then he crawls down and he goes outside. He hits the walls. Yeah, his eyes all droopy, just like an old man. The old 44. This bird is bred tremendous. He is the original Bekaert that we first had. This is the original. If it wouldn't have been for this cock right here, we would have never got any Bekaerts. When Adrian got married in 2009, called me and said, hey, man, can you come get the birds I have at the house because I got nowhere to put them. I said, no problem, I'll come get them. Well, this cock was in there.
Uh-huh.
And I bred him to a Jansen hen from CBS, and I sent the baby to the one Loft race. As a 4-month-old, the baby took 9th at 400 miles.
Ooh.
That's when I called him and said, where the hell did you get this cock from? I said, oh, this old man, Dick Newman, he's got a bunch of reds and darks. And I said, go back to him and get a hen. See if we can get a hen for this cock. Well, the old man wouldn't give him any hens. He said, nah, I don't sell pigeons. I don't give pigeons to anybody. And so in 2011, I went to Michigan. I said, let's go to the old man's house so we can talk to him about the pigeons. So we did, and he didn't answer. I was like all disappointed, so I went back by myself. Knocked at his door, and he answered. And I talked to him. I never told him that I knew Adrian or he knew Adrian or none of this, that I had a bird from him or anything. And so I asked if he would sell a pair. Same thing, to say, no, I don't sell because I have this young kid that helps me get back into the game so I can fly, and which was Adrian. So I said, well, if you ever change your mind, let me know. Don't you just name a price. I'll come buy a pair from you. And he said, no. And I said, okay, fine. So, after 2 hours of talking to him, I left. So I went back to Adrian and grabbed him. I said, let's go back to the old man. I'm not leaving until I get a pair.
Persistence pays off.
And so we go and knock back on his door, and I answer, and I said, well, Dick, what a small world, man. So I said, I go out home and tell my nephew that I met this guy, Dick Newman. He looks around the door. He's like, Adrian, what in the hell are you doing here? I said, that's what I'm fixing to tell you. What a small world. That's my nephew. Oh, you're his uncle. Well, come back in. And so then he said, well, I think very highly of your nephew. Go outside and count all the birds I have. I said, okay. Well, in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, he's going to sell me a pair, right? So I go out there and I counted and said, Dick, you got 50 birds. He said, well, when I started, I was 40 years old, and how about $10 a bird? I said, what do you mean $10 a bird? He said, how about $10 a bird? I said, for all of them? He said, yeah, $10 a bird. You didn't hear me right? I took $500 out of my pocket and bought all his breeders for $500.
Man,
The first year I crossed them into the Jansen stuff that I had, I won 7 races right off the bat. Next year was 12 races. Third year I became champion in the club. And I never fell out of that position for the last 4 years that I flew in Oklahoma. So it's not because of me, it's because of them. The birds did it. And so, you see, now you have stuff out of the same stuff and you're winning. Adrian has been doing great. He's a little all over the board. He flies some of this, flies some of that. But that's what everybody does nowadays. Nobody's concentrating on the pure line.
Mm-hmm.
And so my goal was always to protect the line. So I never crossed anything into them. They're the exact same way they were bred. That's the exact same way I kept them. Now for me to race, I cross them. Two highly inbreds breed a hybrid.
Right.
So I have pure Bekaerts that are won. I have 90% of them has been the crosses that are winning. But everything that won has Bekaert in it. Besides this year that I have those 2 Husky Van Reels up there, everything else has Bekaert in it. But before I cross that back into them, I want to make sure that they're, at least tested.
Right.
So they can come. So now I'm going to breed them. If they make it through this season, then they'll come in here and I'll cross with the Bekaerts and I'll breed out of them.
Tell me about this guy one more time.
That's the son of 2933, direct son. He is the best breeder I have. He'll be my next foundation bird. He bred 3 different winners for me. He bred a one Loft race winner. His children a bred winner. He bred the 4th ace pigeon in Mexico. his son bred the 4th-age pigeon in Mexico. Him crossed to the panda has just been outstanding.
That bird handles
That bird-
super nice.
And so he's the full brother to Queen's daddy.
Super pigeon.
The Queen's daddy. So they get the full.
Here's the retirement home's pad outside. That's Panda.
That dark there is 1939. First baby I ever bred out of him was overall champion. That dark right there with the white flight.
And the red?
The red, that's 38.95. He's the #1 red cock. That all these reds go back to him. Queen is a granddaughter of him.
Okay.
Queen's mama is the direct daughter of him. These stay in here until they all get up on the perches. They eat on the floor and drink.
This little weaning section.
Yeah.
Second rounders.
And so after I get done with the old bird season, this is where the cocks go.
Ah, okay.
All bird racing cocks go in here, and the hens stay in that section where the young birds are. And then the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd will be all open to the young birds.
You can even go out here on top of the roof. Looking at the, oh, that's really cool. All the aviaries, traps to each section. Clear open skies to be able to see from a long distance where the loft is. Here's the young birds out enjoying sun. So we're gonna run back inside because we don't know you. Look at all that red. Beautiful. Checking out Romanian Dave's hens. A plethora of colors. Children and grandchildren to Panda 29, 33, 44. How did you get in Kansas?
Man, it's a long story.
I'm
Well, I own
driving.
a hunt business right here, about 4 miles down the road. And so I lived in Oklahoma at the time, and I was coming back and forth. It's 5 hours every time I had to come up here.
Ah, okay.
So I said, the heck,
Just move on
the
up here.
business picked up, and I had to be here. So I just picked up and moved.
That works.